Rangers are circling a midfield beast as a £5 million deal collapses overnight, and now he's free to walk into Ibrox. Russell Martin's been slaughtered for ditching a red-hot academy gem in favour of a struggling Spurs loanee, and the dressing room unrest is growing. The manager's body language is setting off alarm bells, with insiders saying he looks like a man who's already packed his bags. And just when you think it couldn't get more explosive, Sean Dyche has broken his silence as pressure piles on Martin, and there's talk the 49ers might be ready to pull the trigger. But before we dive into the madness unfolding at Ibrox, a massive shout out to you legends who lit up the comments last week. Proper Rangers voices keeping the fire alive. Biggest thanks to True Blues 56, 148 comments. You're absolutely flying. Then we've got Bob Hendry keeping the chat buzzing. Alex Gover smashing it again. Jeanette McConnell, always brilliant. David Greer, solid as ever. Shout out to William Logan, Craig Knox, and Christopher. Every single comment helps drive the passion, and this community is what makes this channel something special. Let's keep it going. Your voice is the heartbeat of the Bears online. Right, let's get stuck into it. There's a wee twist in the tale that's got Rangers on high alert. A transfer curveball straight out of nowhere. Pierre Ekwah, a player with real pedigree, is suddenly available for nothing after his contract with Saint Etienne was binned by mutual consent. Just a few weeks ago, the French side forked out over £5 million to make his loan from Sunderland permanent. And now he's walked. You heard that right. Over £5 million spent, and he didn't even lace up a boot for them. Now, you've probably seen the fallout round Ibrox lately, the protests, the pressure on Russell Martin, and that desperate scramble for results. It's been rough, and Rangers have only scraped 2 wins since early August. New signings like Youssef Chermati haven't lit the place up, and the mood's been dipping faster than a Celtic fan's pint in May. But this Ekwah lad might just be the spark we need. He's only 23, has come through the systems at Chelsea and West Ham, and made a decent name for himself at Sunderland with 44 appearances and 5 goals just last season. He's got a bit of John Lundstrom about him, strong, box-to-box, knows how to take control of a game. That deep-lying midfield role has been crying out for someone who can take the ball from defense and drive it forward with conviction. But, and here's the kicker, he refused to train at Saint Etienne, not a kick of the ball, not a minute played. So there's a question mark hanging over his attitude. But tell me this, if Russell Martin can get him focused, are we looking at a coup? A free agent with that kind of talent, ready to step into a struggling midfield and boss it? Could Pierre Ekwah be a masterstroke or just another ticking time bomb? This one's bound to light a fire under you. Russell Martin is under the microscope again, and this time it's for the way he's handling the kids. Rangers brought in a whopping 14 players over the summer, and while plenty of you were dreaming of a revitalized squad, reality's been far grimmer. One name that's really stirring debate is Mikey Moore, the young loanee from Spurs who's been given more chances than a lucky punter at the bookies, yet still looks lost under the Ibrox lights. Now, here's where it gets spicy. While Moore's been trying to find his feet in the Scottish game, Rangers' very own Findlay Curtis, born and bred, steeped in the badge, has been benched after banging in goals against the likes of St Mirren, Aloha, and Panathinaikos. Curtis hasn't had a start since July. Not injured, not out of form, just overlooked. The question being screamed from every corner of Ibrox is, why are we prioritizing a loanee who's not even ours over a lad who knows what it means to wear that blue shirt? Curtis knows the club, he knows the pressure, he bleeds it. Moore, meanwhile, looks rattled by the noise and the weight of expectation, and that's no surprise. He's just 18, and Ibrox is no playground. Keith Jackson didn't hold back either, pointing out how bizarre it is to leave Curtis out while Moore struggles to make an impact. And with Ant-Man also being patchy at best, you have to wonder what Curtis needs to do to get a look in. A loan deal with no long-term gain or a potential star with Rangers in his DNA seems like an obvious choice, doesn't it? Why is Russell Martin gambling Rangers' future minutes on someone else's player instead of building around one of our own? Russell Martin's walking a tightrope at Ibrox, and you can feel the tension like a Glasgow derby on a Monday morning. After a miserable start to the league campaign with just 1 win in 6, the pressure's piling on thick. The 2-1 scrape against Livingston did little to cool the temperature, and now with massive away days looming against Sturm Graz and Falkirk, it's do-or-die time for Martin. Failed to deliver, and the writings on the wall has him in 20-foot letters. Now, there's been plenty of grumbles about his tactics. Possession football's all well and good if you're cutting teams open, but when it's toothless and exposing the back line, it becomes a luxury Rangers can't afford. And that Champions League humiliation against Club Brugge, a 9-1 hiding over 2 legs, that still stinks in the memory, but it's not just about the football anymore. When he's in front of the press, Martin gives off the vibe of a man who's had enough. Cold, disconnected, even dismissive. Journalists are picking up on it. And you are too. This isn't a man fighting to win the hearts of the Ibrox faithful. It's starting to look like someone who's emotionally clocked out. And let's be honest, there were raised eyebrows the day he walked through the door. MK Dons, Swansea, Southampton. It's not exactly the CV of a man built for the heat of Ibrox. Yet, here he is, with Andrew Kavanagh still backing him for now. But that support's not eternal. Failed to get results this week, and there's every chance Kavanagh's hand gets forced, and Martin's out the door before the pies are warm at the next home game. Is Russell Martin already a dead man walking at Ibrox? And is Kavanagh bottling it by not pulling the trigger before more damage is done? Now, this is where things get very interesting. Sean Dyche, the gravel-voiced gaffer known for his no-nonsense football and touchline scowls, has finally broken his silence, and it couldn't have come at a more telling moment for Rangers. With Russell Martin clinging on by his fingernails, Dyche's name is now swirling around Ibrox like chip paper in a storm. Dyche has been out of work since parting ways with Everton, but his CV speaks for itself. Long spells at Burnley, survival miracles in the Premier League, and a reputation for instilling grit, steel, and structure into sides that had none. Now, with Ali McCoist himself name-dropping Dyche as a potential replacement, the speculation's heating up faster than a lunchtime chippy on Paisley Road. Speaking on the Call Yourself a Fan podcast, Dyche didn't exactly shut the door. He admitted that management sort of comes and gets you and that he's just watching for now. Translation, he's waiting for the phone call, and if you're Rangers with a squad looking lost and a manager under siege, how long do you wait before making that call yourself? Let's not forget, Rangers are 8th, and that win over Livingston, stoppage time scrape, not a statement. Mick Brown, who's seen more in the game than most, summed it up. If you're a Rangers manager scraping past Livy, relying on miracles instead of a plan, then you're not in control and you're surviving just now. The eyes turn to Andrew Kavanagh and the 49ers enterprises. Their continued support for Martin is turning from patience into stubbornness. It's no longer just a few groans from the stands. It's open rebellion. You can hear the chants, you can see the banners, and you can feel that the bond between manager and support has snapped. If Sean Dyche is available, proven, and interested, are Rangers mad to hang on to a manager who's already lost the dressing room, the media room, and the stands? If you're fired up after that, hit the like button and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you think it's time for a change at Ibrox. Let's hear what you would do.